Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of Book Time with Elvis. With me, Mark, and with Elvis there in the background. Now, long-term viewers to this channel may remember a little segment I did when I first started my channel, which was something called Wordy Wednesday, where I looked at the dictionary of Dr. Samuel Johnson, and some of the funny definitions in that dictionary, some of the funny words that he used. It wasn't a particularly popular segment, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. Who cares, right? And it had like its core viewers, and it was good fun. So that kind of disappeared. I did want to bring it back, but then life got in the way. So I thought I'd come back today with a Wordy Wednesday special, and this just came on me yesterday. I was reading. Well, I was looking around. I've got this thing at the moment with public domain books, and I was kind of just looking around the internet, and I came upon this site, and they offered public domain books for free to download, and one of them was called English as She Is Spoke. And I'm an English teacher. I've been so for many years, since I first started teaching back in 2003 or 2004, can't remember, when I moved to Japan as an English language teacher for Japanese kids and adults, and in an Eikai, or English conversation school. And now I teach in a local primary school here in the Czech Republic. So I have a big interest in English, and I like words. And this book, I don't know why, it just kind of appealed to me. Now, I just want to say that I'm not laughing at anybody who's trying to learn English or the mistakes they make, but this particular book is special. Yeah, as I said, it's in the public domain, so it was written a long time ago. It was published back in 1855 or thereabouts, and it was published, or written rather, by two Portuguese gentlemen, Pedro Carolino and Jose da Fonseca. I hope I've said those right. Christina, if you're watching, I'm sure you'll tell me. And what this book is a guide to teach the youth of Portugal and Brazil, or anybody else, how to speak English. Now, that all sounds pretty good, doesn't it? There is a caveat to that. Mr. Carolino and Mr. De Fonseca don't speak English, right? They don't speak a word of English. However, they want to write a book teaching people how to speak English. So they wrote this, from what I understand, tome, and they did so with the aid of a Portuguese-French dictionary and a French-English dictionary. So everything in this book, all the phrases, vocabulary, everything comes from Portuguese via French to English. The results are very amusing. Apparently, this book was popular at the time because of the unintended humor that comes from reading this, right? So I believe I read somewhere, I think it might have been in the blurb, that Teddy Roosevelt really liked it. Was it Roosevelt? Or Eisenhower? I don't know. Roosevelt really liked it, and he would read out parts to his staff, laughing, and a few other people, because that's what happened to the book. So rather than being this big tome, obviously it wouldn't have been particularly successful. Instead, someone had the idea to abridge it and actually sell it as kind of a humorous work to English-speaking audiences. So once again, it's called English as She Is Spoke, and I will leave the link to where you can download it below. And I think, it's worth it because it's very short. It's, I don't know, what is it, like 50, 60 pages, I suppose, but it's kind of worth looking at. It's split into different parts. So there is a part kind of at the beginning which has um, has the kind of vocabulary which is odd to say the least. All the words and stuff they've put in there. But a couple of my favorite parts would be the second part, for example, which concentrates on familiar phrases. Says things like, "At what o'clock dine him? Apply you at the study during that you are young. Dress your hairs." Things like that. "These apricots and these peaches make me, and to come, water in mouth. Wax my shoes." Those are some of them there. "Give me some good milk, newly get out. Dry this wine. He does me some kicks." Yeah. "The room is filled of bugs." You see, that's what I like as well, because in the next part, I won't go through all of them. You should really check it out for yourself. In the next part, he kind of sets up familiar dialogues. So for the discerning Portuguese gentleman, when he's visiting an English-speaking country, you might want to wish good morning to people. So they come up with possible dialogues. For example, this one is, "For to wish the good morning. How does your father do? He is very well. I am very delight of it. Where is it? I shall come back soon. I was no came that to know how you are." You see, and there's a funny part, the next part, about visiting somebody in the morning, and this rigmarole about the master sleeping and whatever. And then, how obviously gentlemen would have had other, gentlemen's to kind of dress them or help them get dressed. So there's a possible exchange you might have here. "John, make haste, lighted the fire, and dress me. Give me my shirt. There it is, sir. Is it no hot? It is too cold yet. If you like, I will hot it." But one of my absolute favorites, though, is visiting, visiting the hairdresser. There we go. "Your razors, are them well?" "Yes, sir." "Comb me quickly. Don't put me so much pomatum," which I guess is like pomade or the, wax or whatever for your hair. "What news? Tell me. All hair's dresser are newsmonger. Sir, I have no heard anything." Yeah. So I'm not, I absolutely appreciate anyone who is speaking English as a second, third, or whatever language. I think it's a fantastic thing. So I'm not, I really want to be clear that I'm not laughing at the general mistakes. I'm just laughing at the absurdity of this particular situation of two men trying to write a book about how to speak English by taking their own language into a third language to get to the second language that they want to do, and how it really backfires. But to us native speakers, it is, and not necessarily native speakers. I was showing it to some people at work yesterday as well, and they're all Czech and they speak English as a second language, and they also found some of the situations and examples rather amusing. There's another part of the book which shows a couple of examples of familiar letters, from Montesquieu, for example, to the Abbot Niccolini, from Racine to Michel-Vitard, that kind of thing, which have been also translated from Portuguese to French, which of course was their original language, and then into English. So it's also very amusing. There's a section on anecdotes where they try to give you some possible stories that you could bring up with people. For example, a duchess accused of magic being interrogated for a commissary extremely unhandsome. This was Beg himself, one she had look the devil. Yes, sir, I did see him, was answer the Duchess, and he was like you, as two waters drops. Not quite sure what it means, but there we go. And then the last part is pretty charming. It should be idioms and proverbs, but unfortunately, I think they've left all the kind of spelling mistakes in there. Unfortunately, it's called idiotisms and proverbs. So there we go. A few of them we can kind of understand what the authors are trying to say. So, for example, in the country of blinds, the one-eyed men are kings. You can get that in the land of the blind. The one-eyed man is king. We have also, for example, a horse bard, don't look him the tooth. Maybe don't look a gift horse in the mouth, perhaps, is what they're trying to get to. It want to beat the iron during it is hot. Strike while the iron is hot, perhaps. It's quite nice. And then to be as a fish into the water, I guess takes to it like a duck to water. He is beggar as a church rat. As poor as a church mouse, of course. But anyway, there are loads of them. And it's a bit of fun, and I just thought I would share it with you. And as I say, you can download it from the link below. I hope you found that a little bit different, a little bit amusing. That was English as She Is Spoke, published in 1855 by Pedro Carolino and Jose. I know Jose is Spanish. Jose da Fonseca. Maybe it's more Portuguese, but as I say, I'm sure I'll be corrected on my poor Portuguese pronunciation. And after this, I probably deserve it as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. Do take care, and I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye bye.